Hi, this is Roxas here. Today I'll be showing off some replays using the appropriate build of Trickstars. Now in this deck, you want to have live stage on the field since it will open up your link summons. So first off, we're against Dark Magician Wind Witches. This card basically helps you revive cards in the graveyard using Trickstars. So it doesn't matter if it's a link monster or not, or a fusion. Now this card gives you tokens to help you link summon. Basically, you can get a token if your opponent has a set card, or if you have a link monster, you can get another token. The downside is you must only play Trickstars though. Now the fusion card, basically you can get back Trickstar in your graveyard back to your hand, but you can't use this effect during that turn. And also, this one also gives back a Trickstar in your hand if you have one in the graveyard. So say like if you discard like Caribbean from your hand, you can get it back to your hand with live stage if you already have this in the graveyard. Now my opponent keeps drawing, even though Lycris is on the field. Grand Horn of Heaven is a great card in this deck since it allows your opponent to draw a card. And since I'm using a appropriate build, it's very helpful. Forces them into the battle phase most of the time. Now this one was showcased in the other channel of Azneyeswhitedragon. So this is against my opponent's Pot of Greed ×3. Now my opponent didn't use this card's effect during his turn because he still wanted to play his Blue Eyes. Obviously if he used the pay 1000 send all cards to graveyard, I would have lost anyways. I only do him once though. I didn't really lose like 9 times and then redo him a lot. It was one time duo only. So my opponent activates Pot of Greed, draws 2 cards, and then I activate appropriate, and get another Lycris out. He summons Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon to destroy my Holy Angel. Keeps drawing more cards. Lycris burns him. Then he gets Chaos Dragon out. At this point I was pretty sure I was gonna lose since I thought he would use that card during his turn, but he didn't. If he uses the pay 1000 effect during his turn, but he would lose everything in his hand as well as the field with only Chaos Emperor Dragon out. So during his turn, I summon out Trickstar Bloom to draw 1 card. Since a purpose is out on the field, I can draw 2 more cards. Then I summon Live Stage, get Bloody Mary, activate its effect, discard 1 Trickstar card, and then I can draw 2 more cards again. Thanks to contract with Don Dawson, I can draw another 2 cards since a purpose is on field again. Now at this point, I was pretty much confident he was going to try to use Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect to blow up the field, but he didn't use it during his turn yet. And he used it now. So recall activates, so I draw 2 more cards. Now, during this play, It's sort of like a gamble, since I didn't really expect I would draw into Honest right here to help me save the win. Thanks to another part of Greed, I get part of Greed as well. And that's how I won against Blue Guy's deck. This deck was kind of annoying since he had like tons of hand traps. Honestly, Ghost Ogre and Asp Blossom. I was quite annoyed by this deck. Since he kept negating my stuff. Granted, Hermit of Heaven makes it allows me to draw different cards since the probe is not on the field. Then I finally get some decent hand, and then it goes over again, being annoying. I use the Magic Rolla to revive Bloody Mary, so I can use her effect to start Trickstar and draw 2 more cards thanks to Appropriate again. And now here's my Savage combo right here. Since Contract 1000 makes my opponent lose 1000 life points, and Darkroom Nightmare inflicts double burn damage, and with Light Stage, pretty much I just had to summon Lycris and then it's game over. This one will be against Light Sworns. So it is, what if I didn't draw into Appropriate? How would I play this deck? It doesn't really matter if we don't draw it, since Recall and Grand Heart of Heaven, it really helps you negating during the battle phase, or if your opponent's Synchro, Exceed, Link Summon, or Fusion. That's why I run Grand Heart of Heaven, since it can force him into the battle phase. So now let's continue where we left off. So I have Grand Heart of Heaven, Dark Road Nightmare, Recall, and Trickstar Reincarnation. I have my back row set up. Incarnation activates. He negates it. He attempts to Silent Night by Grand Heart of Heaven to negate it. At this point I went for Link Spam to use Holy Angel's effects. Since each time you special summon, you'll deal more burn damage. And Bell Madonna negates. No, not really negate, but for each Trickstar in my graveyard, you can deal more burn damage. If it's not linked to any other cards. Now this will be a mirror match with Trickstars. As you can see, most of the time people don't really link summon that much in Trickstars, but with this build you can spam it quite a lot and make Holy Angel attacks very high. And again, Madonna, for each Trickstar in your graveyard, you can deal burn. You try to remove it to prevent dealing more damage, since it deals 200 for each Trickstars. Would I have 11, it would deal more, since you use that to remove 1 to prevent it. Now this one was pretty hilarious though, since I basically activate 2 appropriate in this turn, and then one turn I went spam crazy quite a lot. It was really a WTF duel. My opponent's playing evil heroes. He's trying to play a Dark Gaia game, I think, and it's. So I activate free Trickstar Reincarnation, since I was trying to break his play. And it worked quite well for me. There's some Candina, get out my Lycris out. Then Contract 1000, my opponent's draw 1 card, and I can draw 2 more cards thanks to it. Now I went so crazy, so I'm getting lots of memory now. Since this turn was so crazy. Summon Bloom, so my opponent draws another card. So you draw 2 more cards. So basically, my deck became sort of like a pot of greed. So I activate Dark Bribe, so my opponent draws another card. Second appropriate. And I draw 4 cards thanks to appropriate. Can summon Azneyeswhitedragon. And Azneyeswhitedragon today. Now this card basically, each time you burn your opponent, you can gain more attack on it. So if you deal a lot of burn damage, this card will attack be very high, and you can double your link monster burn damage too. Mostly you're trying to use the Veritas, but that card kind of corrupted, so I couldn't really show it off. So here's the deck build. So basically 2 Live Sage. This is a key card in this deck build to help you link summon, since I don't really play AC monsters or so. This is a core card, like Stage, Lycris, and Candinia. These 3 cards are kind of like the core cards in Trickstars. And then Reincarnation, 3 of them, since you're trying to mill your deck. Lady Bell, sometimes you use it to go into Trickstar Bloom, or try to go for a link to Terraforming for the field spell. It's for double damage. Dark Rune Nightmare, Raigeki, Magica Rolla, basically you're a monster reborn for Trickstars. Sally is a equip spell, but if you can inflict burn damage with it, you can special summon a Trickstar from your hand, which is decent. Caribbean, basically honest, or you can use your second effect to special summon from your hand. So it's sort of like a 4 honest in this deck. Sometimes you can use it for link summon or use it to attack. This is your fusion card. You fusion to Sweet Guitar. If you have it in graveyard, you can basically get back your Trickstar from graveyard back to your hand. This does the same. If you have a Trickstar in the graveyard, you can get one back into your hand. Then you have Contract with Don Lawson. This is sort of like Chicken Race, but there's some downside to it. If you kind of break on like 5 set cards on your field, you can probably can't play, but sometimes it helps me with appropriate since my opponent draws 1 card anyways, and Lycris burns per each card drawn. Chain Summoning, sometimes I run 3, sometimes run 2, but I think run 2 is better since I don't want to break my hand, so I usually run 2 instead. Now for appropriate, sometimes I run 2 or 3. Since 3, sometimes I can basically get my entire hand drawn, so I don't really like 3 that much. So you can choose if you want 3 or 2. Dark Bribe to negate spells. Also synergize with Bloody Mary. Recall and appropriate. You see these are negations. Well, I don't really play this, but you can side deck this just in case if your opponent plays Solemn Strike. Use it to, you know, get their entire hand in the graveyard and screw them over. So this is currently a side deck card. So this is Trickstar Bloom. Basically, if this card is link summon, you can have your opponent draw 1 card. So this effect will go well with appropriate. And also we can go well with Holy Angel, since you sometimes want to link summon it using 1 by 1. So if you have link summon where this card points to, you can inflict burn damage with Holy Angel. Now this card I can show off because the replay corrupts this card for some reason, since it's not fixed. And then we have Foxy Witch. We see inflict damage. Bloody Mary. This card is kind of a key card into the appropriate build. Basically, discard this Trickstar and then have you and your opponent draw 1 card. In the appropriate, then you can draw 2 more cards again. Trickstar Diffuse Lemon. Don't really summon this much, since my opponent doesn't play Monster that much. Then another Holy Angel. I should put this over here. Trip over the Holy Angels. Then we have Bella Madonna. This is basically a burn damage for each Trickstar in your graveyard. Since you can spam quite a lot, so summoning this card will be your sort of last resort to burn your opponent during main phase 2, or during your main phase 1 if you want to quickly burn him to death. Sweet Guitar Band is basically your fusion card. Each time it burns your opponent, you can draw more. And if this card returns back to normal, you can add 1 Trickstar from your graveyard as well too. So these are some of my side cards. So I have this one basically sort of like a present. Like if you want to run the present Trickstar reincarnation kind of sort of build. So basically use this, have your opponent draw cards. You're appropriate because you can have it activate its effect, and you can use Trickstar reincarnation afterwards with like Chris Burn. Now I only had Dimension Guardian here because I originally was trying to somehow replace Bird Helm for this card, since it basically allows it to stay on the field. I would have run Bird Helm instead, but it's not released into TCG. So this is what it looks like here. It's enemy only card. So basically this is a equip card. And you can use it as normal summon, and you skip your battle phase if you normal summon it. But it's basically sort of like a whole angel effect, except you can equip to any link monsters, and you can double its effect. So if you special summon Trickstars, you can then burn it to death for each time you summon Trickstars. So Birdham will be a very decent card if they print this card out, since it's each time a Trickstar monster is special summoned to your field, inflict 200 to your opponent. Pretty decent, but it's not released. Mallet, in case you want to get better hand, since I think my build kind of breaks quite a bit. These are other Trickstar cards. Chain Summoning if you want to run 3 instead of 2. This one is discard 1 Trickstar and then special summon a link monster from the graveyard. You can run this card, but most of the time when I draw this card, I kind of brick, so I didn't really use this card that much. This one can go well with Bloody Mary quite often. And that's it for my deck build.